Listen to your heart, tell me who you wanna be. We can always start to believe. Listen to your heart, tell me that you understand. 'Cause you are the one for me. If you just believe, if you just believe, if you just believe, if you just believe, if you just believe, if you just believe,
Yo, people, welcome back to another stream. Hope you're all doing very well on this miserable Monday morning here where I'm based anyway. I don't know what the weather's like wherever any of you are, but it's miserable here. It's not the kind of day that you want to be doing much, but listen, we are back. I took the weekend off. I was away. I was in Scotland for the weekend. I was at the Celtic Rangers game. I was offered tickets to that, so I said, fuck it, I'm going to go and watch that game. I didn't even see City live. It felt weird. I think it might be the first game I haven't seen live in years. But I've watched a good bit of it back. I have a fair gist of what happened. I've seen the goals. I've heard about performances and that shit, this, that, the other. We're two to go. We have Spurs away tomorrow. Who's in the chat? We've got Elia in the chat, Omega and Mark Lundy. 30 in the building. Make sure you've all hit that big thumbs up button. I am feeling worse for wear today. As always, nothing new there, says you. But hit that big thumbs up button. Subscribe if you're new and so on and so forth. Joe held down the fort while I was away. Listen, chat, it was one of those ones, you know, when you're offered tickets to a big game, I said, look, it's a bucket list kind of thing. I'm going to go. So I went. Joe held down the fort. He did a review of the Fulham game. Big up True Blue Tie. Big up Matthew Leonard. Big up everybody. Hit the like button. Joe, 4-0 over Fulham. Gvardiol is the talk of the town. I'm seeing people say Jack Grealish should lose his spot in the team because Gvardiol is now the winger, I suppose, or wing back, whatever way you want to call it, because it gives you room to squeeze in Kovacic, De Bruyne, and Foden in the midfield. I heard Ruben Diaz had a fantastic game. I just heard all round it was a really, really good performance. I mean, do you want to summarize that a bit for me? We'll have a chat about that before we move into Tottenham.
Yeah, again, it's another one of them games where everybody to a man I thought played well. Like every single player had a good game. There wasn't one bad performance. And it's taken a while. It's taken until the last 6 games of the league season for us to actually start playing consistently well, which is very worrying for the season. But I'm glad it's come now because we still have it in our hands. So us finding something that works, I'm not going to complain. It's just taken a while to get there, but we found something that works. Everyone's clicking. Of course, it still remains to be seen what happens going further forward into next season. Do we stick with this? What happens to the new players? Do we want to sign? Those sorts of things. But I feel like going into the last 3 games, if you want to include the FA Cup final, the team is actually starting to pick itself, which, again, up until 6 games to go, the team did not pick itself. We didn't know who should play. There was players off form, players injured. We just didn't know who was going to play. But now it almost feels like a formality in which we know who's going to play. We know where they're going to play. And we're slapping teams. This is the best run. This is probably the best run we've been in all season in terms of score lines. Like, we're scoring goals. We had that run not so long ago with 3 clean sheets in a row. That's something that we've been struggling with this season. Like, it's been a very good run, and it's come, again, right at the moment that you want it to come. We're the business end of the season, few games left to go. You're playing well. This is where we want it. And again, this is like, we've had to wait, but we've got it now. And we've got almost a fully fit squad, because there's a couple of up in the air ones. I think the only one up in the air at the moment is Nathan Ake, but his, knock that he got against Fulham wasn't too bad. But apart from that, like, we've got everything going for us.
Feels like Pep does this every single season, in my opinion. He kind of waits until the last, I'd say 10 games, but sometimes even less, before he actually settles on a formation and a system and personnel that he's going to use as his run-in kind of team, if that makes sense. Like, for 30 odd games of the season, we'll be sitting here and saying Pep roulette. We don't know who he's going to pick for a game. We don't know what he's going to go with. Then all of a sudden we click into that gear that I wasn't sure was going to come for large parts of this season, but it's definitely come. I mean, I'm looking at the most recent results. The last 4, 5, 6, 7 results, they're all impeccable, really. You got 4 past Fulham, 5 past Wolves. Obviously, Forest was a bit of a tough one. 2 past them, 4 past Brighton, Chelsea in the FA Cup, 5 past Luton, 4 past Palace, 4 past Villa, and then you're back into March. So essentially, since the beginning of April, you've been, you've Real Madrid in there and you've Chelsea and Nottingham Forest. So other than those 3 games, we've been absolutely impeccable, like genuinely impeccable. And a lot of people aren't focusing on that. A lot of people aren't really willing to give Manchester City the praise. And I found that that's kind of clicked in my head, that people are really unwilling to give City praise with the whole Gvardiol situation. For me, Gvardiol is the left back of the season in the Premier League. I think it's only recently people are really starting to go, okay, this Gvardiol guy's got something about him. I think he's played well all season. But the last couple of months he's been really, last couple of weeks, I say specifically, he's been absolutely excellent. And whenever, say, I tweet or I post about Gvardiol, or other City fans online or whatever, or anyone talks about Gvardiol and tries to give this guy the praise for, coming into a new team, a new system, adapting, a new role, a new everything, with the price tag, the pressure, etc., and how well he's done, I'm met with people saying, oh, well, that's what he should be doing. He cost a huge amount of money. That's what he should be doing. Well, we were all happy to gas up Declan Rice and talk about Declan Rice as the best thing since sliced bread. Remind me how much he costed? You know off the top of your head?
It was triple-digit millions. It was 100 minimum.
It was 100 minimum. I think you're looking at 110, 115, if we're being totally, or 105 to 110, I believe, if we're being, trying to be accurate about it. But Declan Rice at 105 to 110, whatever it was. Oh, this guy's a revelation. He's changed Arsenal's team. He is an elite world-class player before winning a real major trophy. I know he won the Conference League with West Ham. It's not a major trophy. Let's call a spade a spade. And he was the best thing since sliced bread. No one mentions Declan Rice's price tag. But because Gvardiol, who's absolutely slamming it now for Manchester City, as a 21, 22-year-old player in a new system, new team, new league, new everything. Declan Rice knew the Premier League. You know what I'm saying? Declan Rice knew the Premier League. He knew what he was walking into playing for Arsenal. Gvardiol had to change everything. Gvardiol had to come to a new team, everything, and learn quickly, learn on job. You know what I'm saying? Gvardiol is now not just a really good attacking and defensive fullback. He's now also clutch. Do you know what I'm saying? So when we spoke all season about how do we fill the void that Gundogan left behind in terms of being clutch, I'm not saying that is Gvardiol. I'm not saying for 1 second that Gvardiol is the new Gundogan or he's filled the hole Gundogan's left behind. But the guy's stepping up where it's needed. Do you know what I'm saying? He's stepping up where it's needed. He's not shirking the responsibility and the pressure of challenging for a Premier League title. He's stepping up and saying, no, I'm going to revel in this. I'm going to absolutely grab this by the horns and show how good I am. Regardless of how much praise you or I are willing to give him, the guy's doing absolutely what he needs to be doing. And we're now at the point where we're saying, and I'm seeing genuine conversations, should Jack Grealish, if he's fit and healthy, come back into the team? And look, you know me, and Joe, you know me well enough as well to know there's no one in this world loves Jack Grealish more than me. I'd be surprised if his missus loves him more than I do. There's no one loves him more than me. And I'm genuinely sitting here saying, wow, this Gvardiol has played so well and has worked so hard. where it's now at a point where you're saying, is this system Pep has found, where Gvardiol is controlling that left wing, both up and down, do you change it? Do you alter a winning formula, a winning system, a dominant system, and a system that's playing with a huge amount of confidence to get Jack Grealish in? Because I, for one, look, as much as I love Grealish, I love Man City more, and I love Man City winning more. Do you mess with it? Do you mess with it? Gvardiol's getting goals. He's cutting in. He's defensively solid. It's not just like, we've had Cancelo. Do you know what I'm saying? We've had Cancelo, Joe. We've had left backs, Zinchenko, over the years, who were really good, very good going forward. You know what I'm saying? They could link up with midfielders. They could get assists. They might get the odd goal here and there. Very technically good. But what they all had in common was they were all defensively flawed. All of them. This Gvardiol, he's not very defensively flawed. I gotta give it to the guy. He's both solid forward and back. We've not seen that under Pep. A left back who is able to do what Pep wants going forward and defensively. I think Pep's struck gold here, Joe.
Still not even a fucking left back either. We still haven't had a left back. Like, it's crazy to me. But I think I can answer the Grealish question. Does he come back in for the rest of this season? No. No, he doesn't. Not for the rest of the season. You don't change what's working. Phil Foden lining up on paper as a left winger, but in reality, he's basically a left-sided attacking midfielder because he's very much central and he's allowed to move wherever he wants, with Gvardiol going high and wide, which, gets the best out of Foden and he gets the best out of the team. Grealish can do that. We know he can do that because, when he played at Villa, he played in the 10. So we know he can do that, but as for right now, with 3 competitive fixtures left this season, you don't change what is currently working and seeing you score 4 and 5 in multiple games. You don't change that. So does Grealish come back in for the rest of this season? I don't think he does. He may have a role to play. He's still a very good option to have off the bench because of his unique skill set, being able to see out a game, being able to be a potential difference maker. Well, for the rest of the season, he doesn't start. But then again, you go into next season, what does it look like? Who are we going to sign? What is the system? Are we going to continue with this one? Are we going to change it? I don't have the answer to those questions. So it's not like a case of, is that it for Grealish? I just think it's kind of it for this season because what we've got is working.
I think we're at that point as well, and I think there's 1 or 2 players who are in that position where normally, on a normal day, we'd be sitting here saying they're shoo-ins. If they're fit, they play. And that's Jack Grealish, and the other one for me is John Stones. I don't think we see John Stones start a game again this season, which is absolutely crazy because John Stones, for me, is probably technically the best defender we have at the club. I think you might be able to make a good argument for Gvardiol now, based on Gvardiol's performances and what he's shown this season. But he's still got a way to go before you can really talk about Gvardiol as technically in the same league as John Stones. But I don't think John Stones starts a game again this season. Along with Jack Grealish. Looking at the defence to play against Fulham, you had Gvardiol left back, Ake left side centre half, Diaz right side centre half, and Akanji right full back. I struggle to see any of them being dropped. I genuinely do. I struggle to see any of them being properly dropped. That, of course, is pending the update on Nathan Ake's injury situation. This back 4 we have here, it's super. And I know there was question marks over Ruben Diaz and his performances this season. It's probably not been his best season, likewise with Kyle Walker. But Ruben Diaz, from what I know and what I've seen in the Fulham game, was absolutely excellent. Absolutely excellent. And as you say yourself, Joe, we're not conceding goals the way we did throughout large parts of the season. We're no longer giving away that one sloppy goal that we'd always go, we might have won the game, but it's an annoying goal to concede type of thing, or we're not conceding those goals that will make us drop points, like Palace earlier on the season. Me and you were both there for that. Just springs to mind. Liverpool 1-0 sloppy goal to concede against Trent type thing. This back 4 seems to be oozing confidence based off the way Ruben Diaz played. Akanji's been solid all season. Ake's been absolutely class in recent months, and then Gvardiol's been Gvardiol. So I don't see. Rico Lewis, no. I don't see John Stones getting much starting football, essentially, is where I'm at. He's probably our best defender at the club, but you don't mess with a winning formula.
No, you don't. It's stupid to do that. I was even surprised Walker was dropped initially for Fulham. I know he came on after, 20 minutes because Ake got injured. But I was even surprised that Walker wasn't starting that game because the defence has been working. Say what you want about Walker's performances. Like, against Forest, he wasn't very good. But it's still been, he's still been part of a defence that's worked really well. So I was surprised with that one. But I think you can kind of classify Stones and Grealish in the same sort of bubble where they're not going to start. They shouldn't start for the rest of the season. And it's kind of just down to how inconsistently available both of them were. There's not really much you can do about that. But with Stones picking up, 3 pretty, sizable injuries this season. Grealish the same. He'd come back for 20 minutes, pull up with something else. Like, they haven't been consistently available. So when it's got to crunch time, they've not been a reliable option because there's not been, this build-up of them being in the team. So, there's nothing they can do about that, but that's just kind of the card the hand that they're dealt. Like, that's what it is.
It's just the way it is, man. You don't mess with a winning formula. The team's oozing confidence right now, and everyone's gassing up this Arsenal side and Arsenal's defense and how resilient they've been this season. And it's too easy to make the complaint that a lot of people are making, which is that, you can be near perfect or be actually perfect and still not win the league because of this juggernaut that is Manchester City. It's such a lame and easy thing to say because you're not giving due praise. You're not giving due credit to Pep Guardiola or to Manchester City. You're not really looking into the intricacies of why this Manchester City team is so good, why Pep Guardiola is so good, why these players who, I'm going to be honest here, I think a huge amount of our players would be considered average footballers outside of our team. Genuinely, I think if they were not playing for us and Pep Guardiola, a lot of our players would not be gassed up. They would not be looked at as top players. I'm looking at Akanji. 50 million, career gone stalemate. He's now a top player. Nathan Ake, decent Premier League footballer at Bournemouth. If he had gone to anywhere else after Bournemouth, maybe a decent player for them. Pep has turned Ake into an absolute machine. Let me look through the team here. You had Kovacic, decent player for Chelsea, very good player for Real Madrid. Top player for us. Kevin De Bruyne, you know what I'm saying? Very good for Wolfsburg. Didn't get a game at Chelsea. Best midfielder in the Premier League I think I've ever seen. And so on and so forth. There's many more. You kind of know where I'm coming from. People are not giving enough praise to this Manchester City team, the players, the manager, etc., etc. And what we're doing is absolutely not normal. And we're now at a point where we're 2 games away from winning a 4th league in a row. 2 games away from winning a 4th league in a row. What stands in our way is Tottenham and West Ham. And the Tottenham one is, we're going to move on to now. I'll do your super chat now in a second, Bevo. Big up for that. But the Tottenham one's really interesting because there's so many narratives around the Tottenham game. There's so many people invested in the Tottenham game. You've got Villa, you've got Tottenham, you've got Arsenal, you've got City, all of which are invested in this Tottenham game. And everybody kind of wants different things. You know what I'm saying? Tottenham fans, majority of which that I know, want Tottenham to lose because they can't bear the idea of Arsenal going on to win the league gift wrapped by them. And then you have Arsenal fans wanting Tottenham to win their rivals and potentially get top 4. And you've us wanting to beat them. You know what I'm saying? There's loads of angles and narratives going on here. It's absolutely crazy. And then you've got City fans who are just like, I don't care how bad Tottenham are. We have this curse, which I don't buy into anymore. I'm going to talk about that in a few minutes. But we have this curse at their ground in the Premier League and so on and so forth. And there's so many apprehensions going into this Tottenham game, Joe. It's a crazy, crazy week. I have to give Arsenal credit for bringing it to this point. I do. I have to give Arsenal credit. I've always been happy to give them praise. I've always been happy to give Liverpool praise when they're fighting with us. So my point on that was, why aren't people happy to give City the praise accordingly? But yeah, there's so many narratives and angles and everything going into this game. Emotions.
There's a lot. The amount of narratives I've seen, there's been, Romero's got to score an own goal. These, fake score predictions and stuff on Twitter. I can't believe the amount of stuff I've seen. Poznan in West Ham and Tottenham joining us in Poznan around the stadium. Like, it's crazy, but I mean, I guess you kind of, first things first, you kind of have to put yourselves in the shoes of a Tottenham fan, which is horrifying to think of, but put yourself in that shoes. Flip it around. Say it was us and Man United were, in the position that Arsenal were, and, I don't know, say Chelsea were in the position that we were. We were playing Chelsea. And if we were to beat Chelsea, we basically hand United the title on a silver platter. If we were to lose to Chelsea, bearing in mind our season is over pretty much, then, you know, we'd potentially stop United from winning the league. I think we'd all stop United from winning the league and just take the L. Like,
every time.
It's one of them things where if you put, it's very tribal, but if you put yourselves in the position of a Spurs fan in this scenario, your biggest rivals, potentially, you know, deciding the league by, you know, you playing this team that is fighting your biggest rivals. If you beat them, you hand your biggest rivals the league. If you lose, you know, your season's over. It doesn't really mean much, but you lose a game of football, you never want to lose. But you potentially stop your biggest rivals from winning the league. You know, it's one of them, and I understand where the Spurs fans are coming from, but you said this on a show a few weeks ago. It's not in Ange Postecoglou's nature to just roll over and give up an easy 3 points. He will go for this game regardless of whether his season is over. Like tonight, Monday Night Football, Aston Villa are playing. They're playing Liverpool, right? If Aston Villa win, Spurs' season is over. They cannot get top 4 if Aston Villa win tonight. And I have seen a few people raise the questions of what result do we actually want tonight? Do we want Aston Villa to win this game, end Spurs' season, and them to have nothing to play for when they play us, so that they may potentially don't put in the effort and, you know, kind of play like there's nothing left this season? Or do we want Aston Villa to not win that game for Spurs to have slim hopes of top 4, so they go for it, proper go for it? Because that may suit us if they attack the game. That may leave space, you know, Ange Postecoglou doing his high line and all that. If they go for it, there will be space, there will be opportunities. So, again, narratives. What do we want from Villa? What do we want from Spurs? Would we rather Spurs have nothing to play for? You know, do Spurs actually want to roll over? You know, it's so many things going into this game that I don't know what I want, to be honest. I'm not really pushed either way of what the scenario is going into that game, because knowing what Ange Postecoglou is like as a manager, regardless of scenario, he's going to go for it. He's going to go for it. He played a high line. Do you remember that game that they played at home against Chelsea where they got slapped? Nicholas Jackson's got the worst hat-trick I've ever seen. They got some man sent off and they still played the most ridiculous of high lines I have ever seen. So this is a game that should naturally suit us. Even though we're away, it should suit us because we've had so many teams park the bus against us and play defensive. The one thing that I can kind of count on Spurs to do is to attack a game.
Guys, we're 7 likes off 50 and there's 90 people in the building. Hit that big thumbs up button, man. Hit the like button. Subscribe if you're new around here, and there's a link in the chat if anybody wants to be a channel member, like Dashmesh, Herbal, Jack Lee, the True Blue Tie, Lungani, and all the good members we have in the chat. Big up Bevo with the $4.99. Appreciate you, Bevo, man. I'm going to give you a message probably this week about getting you on a show. I know you wanted to come on with Briggsy. He says, big up Hugh and Joe. Vardiol next season, I can see doing the John Stones role. You've seen the Spurs players flying kites. What's going on with teams that we're playing against these days? Or is it a London thing at the minute that flight flying kite flying is a big hobby in London at the minute? I don't know what's going on. Is this a sign that they're not really taking things seriously anymore? I don't know. We're gonna talk more about the Spurs game now in a sec, Bevo. And with Vardiol, I said this months ago, Bevo. Joe, you can attest for this. I said I could see Vardiol growing into and playing in that John Stones role. And now, does that mean that City might be willing to part ways with John Stones? I don't know. Maybe that's a stream or a video in its own right, because it's a big conversation. I think Vardiol has the skill set to grow into that, and I just wonder, could Pep be a bit frustrated with the lack of minutes that you're guaranteed from John Stones season in, season out? Or will Pep feel the way I've maybe thought he might, which is the minutes you do get from John Stones are worth keeping him around, even though he comes with the flaws of he gets injured quite a lot. But yeah, Vardiol, 100% I could see playing in that role. Or else just leave him where he is, because, excuse the pun, he's absolutely flying. He's absolutely flying there. But big up Bevo for the super chat, man. Massively appreciate you, brother. Let's see if we hit 50 likes. We're going to keep talking about City Tottenham now. We're on 52. Big up everybody to the like button. Subscribe if you're new. We're on the road to 9K. I think your point about Ange and the Tottenham team is interesting, because the gulf between what the fans want and what the Tottenham fans want and Ange and the players will want is very different. You know what I'm saying? the fans, all the ones I've heard, the content creators, I don't know any Spurs fans like personally, like very well from home here, but the ones on YouTube and that are all saying, throw the game, let City win the league. Not a chance are we allowing Arsenal to win the league, you know, at our hands type thing. But Ange won't care about that. You know what I'm saying? Daniel Levy probably won't care about that. He wants the Champions League money. The players will want to be in the Champions League for their own, you know, reputations, their own CVs type thing. They want to be Champions League footballers, and so on and so forth. You've got people like James Maddison who want to be part of the England squad. You've got other players in there trying to get into their international teams for whatever competitions they're playing in. So does that mean that Tottenham will go for it? Does that mean that the team will go for it? I'm not too sure. Or is there any players in the Tottenham team who do understand the situation and they're kind of going, we cannot be part of the Tottenham team that gifted Arsenal the league? You know what I'm saying? Doesn't matter if you're in the Champions League at that point. If you're part of the 11 men that gifted Arsenal the league, you will never be respected at Tottenham. Do you know what I'm saying? You will undo any good work you've previously done, and any good work you do in the future will be tainted by the fact that you were one of the players on the pitch who gifted your biggest rivals their first Premier League in 20 years. So there's a huge amount going into it. But with that aside, let's talk about this curse, because this is what has a lot of City fans apprehensive. And if this was 12 months ago, before Ange Postecoglou was a thing at Tottenham, say Conte was still the manager, I would be sitting here, chat, I would be sitting here saying to you, I don't like this. I don't like these fucking hell guys. I don't care about this curse. I don't believe in the curse anymore. I don't believe in the curse anymore. I believe we're going to beat Tottenham, and I believe we're going to beat them convincingly. I do. I really do. I think, look, the game earlier on the season where we drew 3-3, we've played them twice this season, yeah? A draw and a win in the cup. I'm not arsed about this curse. The game we drew 3-3, City were being City in whatever it was, November, October, November, whatever period it was. City were being City at that stage of the season. Topsy-turvy, inconsistent, up and down, fluctuation. Do you know what I'm saying? You're not getting City at City's best around that time of the year. And if you remember, I'm not one to do this very often, but you know what I'm saying? The whistle was blown when Jack Grealish was through on goal. Would he have scored? We don't know. Look, we drew with Tottenham 3-3. Then we get them in the FA Cup. We go and score at their ground. We go and win at their ground. I think, for me, if there was a curse, that is the curse eradicated. We've gone there and won. We've scored at the ground. We've won at the ground. And now, fast forward to this game, I'm looking at it saying, are Tottenham motivated? Are they not? Either way, it doesn't matter, because they're going to play a certain style of football. Do you remember, Chat and Joe, the game we played against Brighton a couple of weeks ago? They went toe-to-toe with us. They played a high line. Reckless, if you ask me. Anybody who plays a high line against City, it's reckless. It's feasting time, yeah? It's where City, as Ruben Diaz says, this is where we get big. This is where we get big. Isn't that what Diaz said? Yeah, high line, City are getting big. Pause. So, Tottenham will play the way Tottenham do. City being City, who are in title-winning form right now. We are absolutely in title-winning form right now. We will punish Tottenham. I'm saying it now. We will punish Tottenham. I'm not arsed about the curse. I don't believe in it. I think City are tunnel vision, tunnel-minded, straight thinking. We must win these last two games. We must win these last two games. And let's call a spade a spade. Do you think for a second Pep or De Bruyne or Foden or Haaland, anyone is sitting in the CFA today at training saying, ooh, there's a curse, the North London curse? No one's thinking about that. They're thinking we're better than this lot. We're going to go and beat this lot, and then we're going to beat West Ham, and we're going to win the league. So for me, you can call me reckless if you're very superstitious, writing on the wall. Fair enough. But for me, Joe, ain't no curse.
I hope there's no fucking curse, because I can't go another 90 minutes where we look like we couldn't score a brothel. Because it's our record is terrible. Curse, no curse, whatever you believe in, whatever black magic juju you believe in. The facts are our record at that stadium is absolutely terrible.
Arsenal hadn't won at Old Trafford since, what was it, fucking 04, 07 or some shit until the other day.
In front of fans,
yeah. And they went and did it, man. Look, curses are there to be broken. Same way eras come to an end, you know what I'm saying?
Eras come to an end. No, it like, with all the narratives going on, I mean, I saw someone say on Twitter that it's proper Tottenham that they win when they don't need to, and they lose when they need to. But again, like, this is a different Tottenham. Those times where we've gone to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium and lost, Mourinho, Conte, defensive, counter-attacking, horrible football, and it's worked. It terrorism, but it's worked against us. I think we played Poch there a couple of times. It didn't really work out. Poch has kind of been a manager that's, for some reason, had our number. I mean, look at the games against Chelsea this season. Oh my God. Like, it's just one of them things. But this is, Ange Postecoglou, this is a different kettle of fish. This is the other side. You know, Conte, Mourinho, defensive, pragmatic, counter-attacking, terrorism football. Ange Postecoglou is complete opposite. High line, very high line, front-footed, attacking football. He's stubborn. He is stubborn. And who knows whether that might be a potential downfall come a few years' time if he's stubborn. You look at the way things are going at Brighton. You mentioned Brighton before. Brighton with De Zerbi. De Zerbi's stubborn. He was stubborn against us. He got slapped because for all the good build-up play Brighton did, which they did very well, like actually playing out from the back, getting through midfield, they did well. Their final third decision-making, and when it came to the big moments at the end of this build-up play, Brighton were terrible. They're absolutely terrible. They made the wrong decision, or, the pass was too, overhit, underhit. Just the wrong decision. Now, the thing is with Tottenham, of course, is Tottenham have better players than Brighton do. Looking at this likes of Son, Maddison, Kulusevski. Kulusevski's a player who always scores against us because he's an Arsenal fan, the little shit, right? So they have better players, in my opinion. Anyway, they have better forward players than Brighton do. So could they cause more damage? Yes, they could. They have a bit more quality. But listen, at the end of the day, on the very few occasions we have seen a team try and go toe-to-toe, try and play us at our own game, it has not worked well whatsoever.
No, it's reckless. It's reckless for me. When we're in this form, it's reckless, yeah? I think, like I said, the game where we drew 3 each, when City aren't being City, I think you can get something off us if you go toe to toe. Teams have done it, yeah. We've seen teams go toe to toe and get something when we're not at our best. But when we're at our best and we're full of venom, we're full of hunger, we're cooking the way we are right now, you shouldn't go toe to toe with City. And that's me taking my City cap off for a sec. You shouldn't go toe to toe, which is why I never liked the way Tottenham played against us. It was never easy on the eye. I've been to Tottenham away and Tottenham at home multiple times where they've beaten us or drawn with us or gotten something off us, and they're kind of going, how have these bunch of shitheads got something off us? I never liked it. It was ugly, but I respected it. You know what I'm saying? I respected it. I got it. I got why Mourinho did it. I got why Conte did it. I got why whoever else, Pochettino did it, because it worked. It was the right way to play against Manchester City at the time. And look, if all of you know me, chat from Big Six and that, you'll know I'm a big advocate for Ange Postecoglou. I like Ange Postecoglou. I like his style of football. And my prediction is that his style of football will be successful at Tottenham. Not right now. He does not have the quality at Tottenham Hotspur right now for his style of football to be as effective and efficient as he wants it to be. So my thing with Tottenham, my gripe with Tottenham is, look, if they want Ange to be successful, they need to give him resources. They need to let him, buy whoever it is exactly that he wants and work away and keep doing his thing. But right now, his issue, Ange's, and his downfall is he's so hell-bent on this system. He's so hell-bent on playing really high up the pitch with these lower quality players that I believe he doesn't actually want, that he's going to get exposed. He's going to get exposed by better teams. Your Arsenals of this world, your Cities of this world. And if they do qualify for Champions League, your Real Madrids and these kind of teams, Leverkusens, will feast against Tottenham. But that doesn't matter to me. I'm not a fucking Tottenham fan. So my thing is, look, as long as City are playing at the level required, which we have been for weeks tomorrow, and don't buy into any of this cursed bullshit, I think we could hit Tottenham for 4 or 5. I really, really do. I look at the performances of recent, not even just like Gvardiol. Kovacic is playing well in midfield. Kovacic seems to really, really he really flourishes in this kind of system that Pep's working with right now. You got De Bruyne now getting assists. You got Foden goal. Foden just wow. Bernardo, Haaland even is looking good these days. I know we could have scored 1 or 2 against Fulham, but it is what it is. I'd still back Haaland every single day of the week, twice on a Sunday. So my thing is, I really believe we're going to cook tomorrow. I really, really do. Of course, I have those last week of the season kind of, butterflies in the stomach. But we're at a point now, chat, with this team, yeah, where we've had so much success over the years. So much success. So many great players have come and gone and are still here. We've had the best managers in the world who has brought us so much glory that they deserve for us to have confidence in them. It would be disrespectful of me, and I think you're all entitled to feel whatever way you do, but I think for me, it would be disrespectful of me to be sitting here and shit myself over Tottenham when this team are this team. It would be disrespectful. We have proven too many times that when push comes to shove and it matters the most, we do the business. We do the business. We've gone to tough venues and title races. Remember last season, fucking De Bruyne did the Haaland celebration, or was it 2 seasons ago?
2 seasons
when he
ago,
scored,
Wolves away. Scored 4.
He scored 4. He scored fucking 4, yeah? We're all shitting ourselves over Molineux because remember we had a bit of a gripe with Molineux. We're like, oh, when we go there, we seem to always be in trouble type thing. And then, we just cooked. We just did our thing type thing. So this team deserve us. They deserve us to be sitting here going, not arrogant, not, over the top, like, oh, we're way better than you. We're going to smash you. No, it's just, look, I trust these boys. I trust this manager. I trust our DNA. It's our DNA now, people. Yeah, when you look at, say, let's look at Arsenal right or United right now. Yeah, look at United right now. I've been shit for 10 years, 10, 11, 12 years. Yeah, and they're like, this isn't our DNA. This is not the way we are. We're big Man United. Yada yada yada. Okay, whatever. Our DNA now, people, is we're a winning club. We're a club that knows how to win. Yeah, we can be topsy-turvy up and down from September up to maybe February, March. But we know how to win. We know how to win. Like we spoke about this a huge amount, Joe, with Champions League. And the issue we had with Champions League was that we didn't know how to win for a long time. We could win games, we could blitz teams, but when it mattered the most with Champions League, we didn't know how to win. It was just like something missing. We were missing the little part of the formula. We couldn't find it. And then once you get it, you get it. And we had that with the Premier League. That's us. We're the kings of the Premier League. So, look, long story short, I fully back this team. I fully back this manager. I'm really excited for this game tomorrow. I'm really excited, Joe. I know, Joe, you're very different to me, and you buy into the curse thing a lot more, and you focus a lot on like form at certain grounds and results at certain grounds over previous years. But you know me, I'm a hopeless optimist.
I know you well. You are a hopeless optimist. I just go off when, sometimes there's a blip, like in terms of records at ground. Sometimes there's like 1 or 2 games I can go fine. It's whatever. When it's, how many games was it against Tottenham in their ground? 6, 7? When it's that build-up of games, it does, mentally affect players. It has a mental toll of whenever they see this game on the calendar. It's like Anfield. When we went to Anfield, we thought, we could beat these. But then you look at that second half at that game against Anfield, just mentally fell apart. We were so up against it. We just didn't have it within us. Like, that's one of them things that can mentally affect a player. So I buy into that a lot more than I probably should. But again, this is probably, when we speak of the time, this is the time where we've got a goal and we've got a win. Floodgates, surely. Like, we've got what we wanted. We've lifted the curse, so to speak. It's like the Champions League. We lifted the curse. We've been through all the heartache, and we won it. We were thinking we can be confident that we can go and win that. Now I feel in sort of a similar way about Tottenham. We've gone there. Okay, it was 1-0, and it was a very scrappy goal late on, but we went there and won, and we kept a clean sheet.
No, I hear it. Like I'm not sitting here for 1 second trying to be arrogant or over the top, as I think I've tried to make clear. It's just there's something about this team right now. There's something about this manager, and I feel like, look, if we're ever to break this, if we don't break this curse tomorrow, this curse that I keep saying I don't buy into, but plenty of you do, and that's, I'm not knocking you for believing that. But if we don't break this curse tomorrow, we never will. You know what I'm saying? We never will. Tomorrow's the most important one ever. So look, that's kind of where I'm at, man. We're gonna keep talking about it. I'm gonna get through some of these super chats. 4444, come on, Hugh, motivate your mate. Joe is motivated. He's just different to me. We're very different. It's probably why this sort of podcast runs quite well. Me and Joe were very different in the way we view certain things, so we get to have good conversations. If me and Joe agreed on absolutely everything, yeah, this will be boring. You know what I'm saying? If we thought the same shit all the time, you wouldn't even tune in. I'm gonna get through some of these super chats. Hit the like button, people, man. Let's try to get to 100 likes. That would be sick. But yeah, hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, and there's a link in the chat if anybody wants to be a member as well. Big up Bevo again with a super chat. He says, biggest factor in this is we have never needed to go to Spurs and win. Changes everything. Pep, I need my Warriors. This is true. This is true if you ask me. We've never had to go there and win. I mean, I know we said that sort of about Anfield, didn't we? And that didn't quite work out the way we wanted. But this is different. This is further down the line. This is 2 to go. We're 180 minutes away from being crowned 4 in a row champions. And I've never seen so much fear from rival fans or throughout the Premier League of Man City winning this league. You know, when we've been closing in on leagues in recent years, Joe, and it's looking inevitable. People are kind of like, I know us as City fans, we're still kind of like, oh, we need to win one game at a time type thing. But other fans feel it's inevitable. They're always kind of like, City, whatever, City will win the league. Now it's like, holy shit. City are about to do something no one's ever done. At least with 3 in a row, United have done it twice. United have done 4 in a row. The United fans are suddenly paying attention. All of a sudden, United care about us. I know they always have, and they pretend they didn't, but they do now. They're like, City are about to do something we've never done, which is a 4th Premier League in a row. And it's making them self-reflect a bit more. There's a lot of fear now that City will go and do this 4th in a row. And that if Pep stays longer than 2025, that's another stream. I want to have a conversation about that. City could do more. They really could do more. There's no sign of slowing down, because if City were to slow down, this was the season. A lot of transition this season. You know what I'm saying? Lost really important players, probably didn't replace them adequately, and we're still on course. We're 180 minutes off a 4th league in a row. So, yeah, man, I think that's a good point, Bevo. It's a big factor that we have to go, that we need to win. And then you factor in Tottenham circumstances and everything surrounding them. Will they feel they need to win? I don't know. You have to chat to a Tottenham fan. Big up for the super chat. Big up my man JTI, my brother, member for a month. Says big up Joe and Hugh and the chat. Hit the likes. Get the likes up. Yeah, man. Hit the like button, people, if you haven't done so already. Big up JTI, member for 1 month. We appreciate all of our members, man. If you want to be a member, there is a link in the chat. Like I said, it's a prestigious club for prestigious people. If you're a prestigious person, become a member. It's what the big dogs do. If you're a real champ, become a member. Big up Professional Idiot, the king of the members. The king of the members. He says, we just need Anger Imposter No Clue to have, or Anger Imposter No Clue to have no clue, and for them to repeat the history of the Tottenham and bottle it. I don't even, look, would a Tottenham fan call it bottling if it's them getting what they want, which is to lose? Would they call that bottling? I mean, I watched DR Sports today, Joe, the weekend roundup they do, Matisse, Flex, Abby, and Robbie. Yeah. Abby was like, look, I don't fucking care about Champions League. I can't have Arsenal win the league. And I respect that. And you said that earlier on. Like, let me put this to you in the chat, a scenario. We're going to keep moving on the super chat a sec, but let me put a scenario to you, yeah? If we were going for Champions League, or we were still in for Champions League, and Man United were going for a league, we lose, we don't get Champions League, we win, United win the league. Would you sacrifice Champions League to stop United win the league, is basically what I'm saying? Yes or no, chat? And Joe.
I mean, yeah, being cynical about it, I don't want United to win the league. I can take no gain. Listen, the way that I view it, and I think the way that Tottenham fans are viewing it, is like, Champions League football, are they going to win it? No. So realistically, like, is missing out on it that big of a deal when they probably know that they'll be out around the 16 quarterfinal stage at the best? Like, 'cause they're not going to win it. If they're scraping a Champions League spot on the final day of the season, you're not going to win the competition. Not good enough to win the competition. That's just how it is. And I've seen a few Tottenham fans before saying, you know, they're used to missing out on the Champions League. They've done it before. Like, it's not news to them. Now, of course, it's news to us. I mean, we've qualified for the Champions League in how many years in a row now? Like, I think I can't even
15 or
remember.
something.
It's
15?
something ridiculous, right? But again, you put yourselves in the shoes of a Tottenham fan. They've missed out on top four before. Like, they have been in the Champions League for a couple of seasons now. Like, it's not new to them. But what is new to them is Arsenal winning the league by direct consequence of them winning a game of football.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So it's I mean, look, if you look at the chat here, there's two messages on top of each other, which are the total contrasts. Let me find that again. The total contrast, and I get it. Every fan's different. I don't knock anybody for feeling differently. Trinidad and Tobago today says, I only think of my team. So his point of view is, I don't care who wins the league. My team needs Champions League football. JTI right under it. My rival ain't winning. So people are torn. Do you know what I'm saying? People are torn. Do you want your club to get the Champions League and the benefits that come with that, or would you sacrifice that and let your rival win the league, or stop your rival win the league? I should say. People are torn. People are torn. But my general overview of the Tottenham fans that I gather is that they
Look at that one
rather
there. Look at that one there. You're on a C. I definitely want Spurs to lose tomorrow. I'm a Spurs fan.
Who says that? Oh, Jonas. I thought I was. Yeah. There you go. There you go, man. There you go. It's crazy. It's crazy, but I get it. I fucking get it. Trust me. Like, I would not want, me personally, and people in the chat can give your thoughts. I would sacrifice Champions League football if it meant United do not get a league. I fucking would. I never ever want to see them lifting silverware just for us to play in Champions League. Nah, no chance. So I get it, Jonas. I get it, mate. I get it. But yeah, listen, big up. Everybody, keep hitting the like button, man. We're going to do the rest of these super chats and keep chatting. Hit the like button, man. Let's try to get to 100. There's 120 people in the building. Subscribe if you're new, and there's a link in the chat for anybody who wants to be a member. Big up Dr. Footy with the ZAR14 says, we haven't won it. It's match day 37 in 4 years. It's over. We haven't won it on match day 37 in 4 years.
We haven't won on a match day 37 in 4 years. More juju. Yeah. More history. Yeah. I mean, the history's there to be fucking broken, isn't it? I mean, who would have thought that we would have won 3 in a row, a treble, all of this stuff? Like, that's history.
Exactly, man. The things are there to history is there to rewrite itself, I suppose I should say. Dr. 40, have the faith, man. Keep the faith. Big up for the super chat as well, Dr. 40. Always good to see you in the building. And big up Bevo again, man. Massively appreciate you, Bevo, in your super chats today, brother. He says, if Liverpool didn't win the Prem, we would be on for 7 in a row. Let that sink in. It's crazy, Bevo. It's absolutely crazy, bro. But we have to focus on the here and now. 4 in a row is crazy, man. 4 in a row is wild. Look, to win a Premier League is an unbelievable achievement, like really unbelievable. And for us, it's somewhat normalized, winning Premier Leagues because we've done it a lot recently. To do back to back in 17, 18, 18, 19 was unbelievable. Our first back to back, what? And then we did 3. We did 1, 2, 3 in a row, and now it's 4 in a row. We could potentially do. It's like, wow. So all I'll say to you lot is just enjoy it. Enjoy it as much as you can. Try not to stress too much, and enjoy it because look, it will change. It will change. When Pep leaves, I promise you, it will change. I'm not saying we'll never win a league again when Pep leaves, but I will say we will never experience this level of sheer grip hold and dominance to the point where I'm looking at fucking KSI videos, yeah? KSI posted a video on his channel there, watch before he went live, and he was like, look, we're Arsenal are near perfect, but it doesn't matter because you just can't beat City. We have everybody in the league saying it's done. Like, you just can't compete with Manchester City from right to the top of media down to the bottom. And like I said, that is interlinked with people not giving us the correct praise, but this is the effect we've had. Bevo, man. People don't feel they can compete. So like I said, just enjoy it, chat, man. Just enjoy it because it's a special time. But do I get the tribalism and I get the emotion. I'm an emotional guy myself, chat. If you watch my watch-alongs and these videos and that kind of thing, you'll know I get very emotionally involved in the situation that we're in. But yeah, listen, big up for the super chats, people. Keep hitting the like button, keep subscribing if you're new around here. I'd love to hit 9k by the end of the season. We've got a week to do it. Can it be done? I think it's a small chance, but you know what I'm saying? If you guys make the effort, we can. You guys are fantastic. So subscribe and like and all that stuff. Big up Jill in the chat. What's up, Huey? And chat, make sure you hit the like button. Exactly. Right. I think we might save the predicted 11, Joe, for a 3:30 tomorrow, maybe, if that suits you.
No, I don't think I'm about tomorrow afternoon.
Oh, that's right. Right, we can do a predicted 11 now if you want, but it kind of picks itself.
Yeah, I can kind of quickly run through it because I think it's very simple. To just go through it, you can just list 11 names off if you want, and I'll put them in.
Okay, Ederson,
Yep.
Kanji right back, Diaz right center half.
Ooh, interesting. You think Ake is going to be fit for this one?
I think
Okay.
so.
And then obviously the main guy, the almost hat trick scorer, almost.
Big Josko Gvardiol bollocks, yeah.
Right. Rodri, natural habitat, mate.
No Walker or C, no Walker, mate, no Walker. Rodri, Kovacic, De Bruyne, Foden.
It's literally the same team as it has been for the last few weeks. It's very, very simple. It lines up like this. When we get into the game, it's absolutely all over the place, and I love it.
I'm here for it, man. I'm totally here for it. Put in Stones. I don't think Stones plays, mate. I don't think Stones plays, genuinely. I don't. I think there's too many players. Ahead of Stones, not on ability, but based on reliability and consistency this season. There's too many players ahead of him. With two Akanjis, Joe. Akanjis can't play two positions.
Akanji, oh shit! You know what? It's muscle memory from putting Akanji in at right side of centre half. There you go. There's Ruben Diaz. Yeah, I mean, if we could clone Akanji, it'd be nice, wouldn't it?
Two Akanjis, 30 million. We'll take that. So good. We're cloning Akanji. Exactly, Bevo.
Do you remember a few years ago when it was the shouts of when it was Ford and McAtee and all these players who were cloning David Silva? We had a cloning machine.
Yeah, Foden's the clone of David Silva and that. Yeah, crazy. There's no update on Ake's situation. I personally think he'll be fine. Genuinely, I personally think he'll be fine. I think he has to play if he's able to.
Listen, man, he scored the goal last time we were at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium.
Yeah, exactly. So if you're talking about breaking juju, he's the guy who broke it. So he kind of has to play. Look, this is the team for me. This is the team for me. I'm not gonna lie. I love the football that all these players right now that we have on the pitch are bringing. I'm loving watching. I'm loving watching the football. Essentially, is where I'm at. I'm loving watching the way it works, the tactics, the intricacies, the build-up play, and the defensive side of things. We learn something new about it almost every single time. So I don't want to change it. If I had to put money on it, I would say Pep will change something. I would say one or two players will come in and one or two players will come out. But this is what I would want. I know it's not it's not an exact prediction, but it's what I would want, I suppose, Joe.
Yeah, but again, it's going to be pretty close to this. Like most of these names will be on the team sheet. As long as they're fit. I mean, Ake is the only one, for me at least anyway, that I can see not playing. You could very easily see, put a Kanji in that left-sided centre half role and then Walker starts at right back. That's kind of the only change I'm seeing. It depends on Ake's fitness.
Look at the many people saying play Stones. The many people saying play Stones.
Oh.
For me, that's muscle memory to say play Stones. It's just like you just naturally want to say play John Stones, play John Stones. But who do you take out? Like who do you take out? Who do you tell you're not playing because I need to put Stones in? None of them. If any of those back four, if all those back four are fit, Gvardiol, Ake, Diaz, Akanji, you can't tell any of them that they're not playing because you want to put Stones in, because they've all been hyper consistent, really good performances, and they've all been pretty reliable fitness wise. Maybe with the exception of Ake, he's had one or two this season, but for the most part, he's been really reliable. How can you turn around to any of those back four and say you're not playing? I don't think you can.
No, you can't. I mean, I always like the saying, the best ability is availability.
Facts.
And that is just not John Stones at all whatsoever. He's just never available. Again, like you said, he's great to keep around because when he is available, when you make use of the minutes he gives you, my God, he's some footballer. But when was the last time he started a game of football? Like, he just can't seem to do it because he always gets injured. This is not a team you mess with. You don't score 4 away at Fulham, 5 against Wolves, and then change the team. You don't start defending well and keeping clean sheets. You don't go on a run of actually keeping clean sheets 3 in a row and then change the back line massively. I know we changed it for Fulham. Diaz came in for Walker, right? But that was one change. You don't then go and make another change on the next game and then another change on the next game. We constantly go on about sloppy starts to seasons because Pep is trying things, trying players in certain positions, seeing which partnerships work. And the reason why we're so good at the end of seasons is because the team picks itself and everyone's built up this relationship and knows what they're doing with each other because they've played with each other for a few weeks now. And that's the stage we're in right now, where this back four, they've played with each other for a few weeks now. They've completely gelled. Like, this is probably the best that we've defended all season. This is the most consistent that we have been. You don't mess with it.
I agree. No, genuinely, I couldn't agree anymore. You're echoing absolutely all of my thoughts. I mean, Alec in the chat, big up. Alex says Pep will keep backline. I hope so. Look, chat, I am emotionally attached to John Stones. I fucking love John Stones. I've had a season ticket for the whole period John Stones has been at Manchester City. I've watched his whole demise. I've watched his whole rise to being what he is now. But I'm also a believer in keep what's winning. Don't fix what's not broken. And if that means, unfortunately, no John Stones, that means, unfortunately, no John Stones. So, look, it is what it is. I don't think anybody can complain about the front five we have there in Kovacic, De Bruyne, Foden, Haaland, and Bernardo. I think they're all playing really well. So, you can't really argue with it. Big up Mateo Kovacic, man. Genuinely, I think he's been absolutely fantastic in the second half of the season, particularly. A lot of people look at him saying, he's not İlkay Gundogan. Of course he's not İlkay Gundogan, but he's definitely had a positive impact on the team. And I think he gets what he needs to do in that role, moving up and down the pitch laterally, from being beside Rodri to being beside De Bruyne, being beside Rodri to being beside De Bruyne. His positional awareness is absolutely fantastic. So
he is the John Stones. Kovacic is the John Stones.
Yeah, you could argue.
He's taken up that role because we don't have a defender sitting in there anymore. Gvardiol's playing high and wide. Like the John Stones role, the player who's, sat next to Rodri and then moves up when we move into the final third, is Kovacic. That's who it is now. Akanji's not doing it. Walker's not doing it. Gvardiol's not doing it. Gvardiol's high and wide. It's completely different now. We tried, remember early on in the season, it was flipped, wasn't it? Walker was high and wide. Now it's Gvardiol. For some reason, Gvardiol's better at it than Walker.
Well, Gvardiol is a significantly better footballer than Walker. I think Walker's a lot of experience. He has physical attributes that Gvardiol doesn't have, but technically, I think Gvardiol is quite clear of Walker, just in terms of footballing ability. You know what I'm saying? Like, Gvardiol, when he was younger, was a striker. He was a striker and a winger. All through for large parts of his academy life, wherever he was for his academy. Was it in Croatia or was it? I forget where he was for his academy. But he's a very rounded footballer, Gvardiol, whereas Walker is a fullback. He's an out-and-out kind of almost traditional fullback with superhuman physical attributes. So it's not a surprise to me. I think Pep has found the winning system. I think these 11 players, if they stay fit and healthy for these next 2 games this week, we are league champions. We are league champions for a 4th time in a row. And I will be doing a watch along. I'll be doing a watch along here myself. Joe will be doing production tomorrow night. So make sure you join us tomorrow night for the watch along. I wasn't feeling the best this morning because I was away all weekend. I'm tired and I'm run down. But you guys have made this stream a lot of fun. I feel a lot better about myself. It's been great to chat to all of you guys again, and I hope you join us for the watch along tomorrow evening. Plenty of content this week. We're going to build up to West Ham then. Hopefully after win versus Tottenham, maybe get some guests on if I can. A lot of people are busy though. Do you know what I mean? A lot of people are busy, but you guys are still coming in to listen to me and Joe, which is absolutely fantastic. So listen, we're 8 likes off 100. Hit the like button on your way out. Subscribe if you're new. Link in the chat and top of the description if anybody wants to support further and be a channel member. And yeah, man, see you tomorrow evening for the big watch along. Get tuned in. We're going to schedule it now in a sec. So hit the likes nice and early on that. Enjoy the rest of your day's blues. I'll be on the big 6. I think it's at like 11 tonight or something, which is annoying, but it is what it is. The game's the game. In a bit, wrap up.
Listen to your heart. Tell me who you wanna be. We can always start to believe. Listen to your heart. Tell me that you understand.